Greetings, fellow space scavengers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts Fire in the Hold. Episode 23. Installing a CO2 filter and ship lights. I probably shouldn't cluster these together for like one micrometeorite strike takes out the everything problem, but whatever. I don't care. And now you can see the... yeah, I just blocked the path. I'm a dummy. Okay, we can't put them there. Because I got plumbing. Hey, Atara, thank you for the resub. And I'll fix it. Left and right. Oh, come on, you... Yeah, there we go. So I'll have it match. One of the reasons to have symmetry, and this is like an interesting reason, but one of the reasons to have symmetry is if something breaks and you have a left-right symmetrical ship, it's very easy to figure out what broke, right? Like if my sensors on left and right are in the same position and one of them breaks, I know exactly what it was because it just looked the other side of the ship and it's like, oh yeah, okay, it was my optical sensor because the other one is on the other side of the ship, and I don't have one on the left, or aft, or port, or whatever, starboard. So it's a weird reason to have symmetry, but like a pretty valid one, if you ask me. It's just... You don't need a perfect mental picture of the way your ship should be, because you could just compare and contrast left to right. There we go. We got the extra thrust. We've got the sensors. I like it. Works pretty good. Anything else we want to grab from here before I push off? So I know there's bins, but I wasn't too concerned about bins because they're dime a dozen. There's pumps and batteries. Again, don't really care. Really, the only thing that's worth anything here is maybe the backpack. And the reason why I'm grabbing the com part now is when I make the trek to Ceres, I want to have a bunch of repair components, a bunch of spare parts, you know, carbon fiber, steel. Oh, hey, look, an Ossifex pen I missed. A bunch of that kind of stuff spare, so that in the case that we have something break or something needs maintenance or whatever, I have the parts to do that. And I haven't built up a giant supply or a bag full of like steel and spare components, but this comp part will be spare part bag. And I don't really care. Let's see. Maybe start picking up the parts to stockpile it. So we just have like a whole bunch of stuff. Now, things like heat sinks and motors and screens and the like won't stack nicely. So I'm going to want other bags for stuff like that. So this is definitely like a work in progress where I'm just building up a little bit of supply now. And then we'll build up a greater supply later. Once I probably get back to the spare parts vendor and just buy a whole bunch of spares. I would say like 3 heat sinks, 3 motors, 3 screens, like 3 of everything, and then a full stack of everything else. Electrical components are pretty common to break. A lot of the most delicate parts of your ship tends to be the electrical systems. So having more spare electronic stuff is not unreasonable. And then eventually I'll aim to have a bunch of the spare parts like just stored in bins in the ship in the case of, you know, any problems. Because you want spare everything. You want spare tools, you want a spare suit, you want a spare helmet, you want a spare everything. Because there's, well, I guess there's safe scumming, but there's no oops, I, you know, ran out of a spacesuit in vacuum of space and you expect to survive. Nope, you'll just be dead. So this isn't a perfect collection of spare parts. This is just me like quickly grabbing whatever is obvious. I'll do a more complete inventory later. This is just what is free and available. All right, so let's bring this stuff in. Hunter's bag. Okay, yep. And then out of my hunter's bag, I'm just going to dump this stuff on the floor for now. We'll organize it later. Okay, at the moment, I need to head back to K-Leg for a transponder. Because I broke mine, and I'm going to want to replace that, even before I go to sleep. Plus, I might want like a decent meal back at K-Leg. But I'm in the crew quarter now. I'm also going to want to buy... Yeah, so I have like a satellite fault, because I know I don't have a... I don't have a transponder. Committing a crime. Unregistered ship. Yeah, I'm aware. Oh. This... So, one thing to note is my ship won't be blue, because I am not transponding my anything. I'm flying dark. Uh-oh. Armor was barely affected. Okay, a little bit of a collision. Okay, how about I stop crashing? My suit's down to 26%. And this is why I'm in a pressurized environment, guys. Restore. What's the charge on it? My charge is fine. Where am I now? Oh god, I bounced the hell off that thing. That's funny. Okay, I am clear of KS0C. So let's line up on K-Leg and fly nice and dark over to K-Leg to buy a transponder. Also, I have a lot more thrusters now. I've tripled my thrusters, so I can definitely pull down the maneuver, because, yeah, that was some powerful stuff. The other thing is, yeah, okay, the kilowatt power available is obviously a lot less, because I don't have installed batteries. These batteries aren't installed. So I've got 2 batteries, rather than the, like, 5 I had before. What the hell? Oh, you're fine. Other things. Unread messages. Someone tried to talk to me. Interesting. Apparently, nobody cares that I was off transpondering. Which is super surprising. Because I definitely broke my transponder a while ago. And those like message logs are just not working. Why can't I talk to you? Yeah, over 12 hours ago? Yeah, that's fair. It's been a minute. Okay, where am I? Nice and lined up on Kalik. Perfect. Anything for me to do before I get there? So, damage overlay would be nice. Nope. There's nothing damaged. I mean, broken transponder and, like, the spare parts that I bought obviously are damaged, but nothing really else is damaged. Cool. I would like to move my books inside the crew cabin, because I'd like access to it. I'll also move the grinder inside as well. Another thing I need to do is to reset the doors. All the doors on my ship should probably have the same lock code. So that one is now 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if this one is 1, 2, 3, 4. I forget whether I've factory reset this or not. Nope. Okay. Let's, what is its pin code? Come on. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and factory reset it and then change it. And the reason to know the pin codes is if pirates are coming, I can just like lock doors and make it harder for them to get to me, but only if I know the codes. Only if I can actually access the lock and lock it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lock. Alright, that's 2 doors. And on the ship logs, it will actually tell you through your nav console or through your PDA, like what all the lock codes are. But I'm just setting them all to the same, just so I don't have to memorize a whole bunch of different sets of numbers. And if you're wondering where that is, it would just be like print status. Or ship log, rather. Is it? Yeah, here we are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a whole bunch of doors that have not been reset, which then obviously need to be. Are you able to rename them? You could. I guess you could technically name them the name of the code. Because it's not like the NPCs like read that stuff. Obviously, that's a pretty clever way of doing it as well. Oop, that's not what I meant to do. Or just to know which door is which. Oh, I didn't need the bathroom door, did I? Alright, I think that is all the doors. Where am I? Getting up on Caleb, got it. Yep, all the doors are now 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And here's the status. The status is just like, what's wrong? So like, my transponder's not found. It will read any errors. and read, you know, some of the raw numbers of how much power you have, or thrusters, or working O2 pumps, you know, that kind of stuff. What books do I have? You know, I think I'm going to study business administration, because I don't have any skills in business administration. Also, I haven't reset my zoning either. That's fine. Also going to put my cutlass here on the floor. Okay, cool. So back to biotransponder. I am not certain where I'm going to install it, but I definitely know I need one. Zoom! And somehow or another, I haven't gotten in trouble with the law having been flying in the dark. Yeah, business administration will actually show you the physical prices of things once fully studied, which is, like, not going to happen within a reasonable amount of time, but still, it is a dream goal, right? Could be installed in the cargo bay? It could. It doesn't really matter, as long as it's powered. Or in the reactor. It could be installed anywhere. Is there any reason to visit the 6 sites around K-Leg? I mean, yeah. Because they have something installed on them that is nice to have access to, but, like, that's all I'll say. Where could I put the transponder in this configuration? I could put it, like, in an airlock, too. I could, like, install it here, but, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Let's go buy one. That's what matters. The other thing is I have a lot of parts that I will want to get rid of, and not all of them is in my not all of them are in my cell zone. In fact, most of them are not. Is you still alive? Oh, your eyes are now irritated. Well, you know, you've been laying there in the bathroom for a day. So let's throw out the old zone and paint a new one. Oh, that should be uninstalled. Order and haul. Why on earth is it that color? For real? Yeah, forget that zone. Let's try that again. New zone, please. And, like, not gray colored. Because I'll never be able to see it. No, stop it. Kill that zone. Stop giving me gray colored zones, please. Green. That'll work. All right. Technically speaking, I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to have it go past here for like sanity's sake, so that I can keep track of stuff a little bit easier. So just in the front. There's not a lot of salvaging that I actively have to do anymore. Oh, yeah, I should just have changed the color. But whatever, it works. Okay, that's the barter and haul zone. Let's get rid of all that junk I don't need. Tons of extra junk. So the floors, the king intakes, more floors. I'm keeping the heat sinks, keeping the fire extinguisher. I don't need that helmet because I already have a spare put away. Floors, IR sensor, floors. Keep the grav pen. I think that's it. Yeah, looks about right. Nice, clean ship now. Sweet. Has the scrap kiosk changed over? No, this is the same offerings it had before. Got it. All right, let's grab some nice grub and then head over to the ship dealer. Oh, what the heck? Head over to the ship dealer and get reassessed too after we install the transponder. And then, like, go to sleep on our own ship, which will be nice, because that doesn't happen often. So that entire trip, with the fusion reactor on the whole time, we spent... Okay, hold on. No, let's pay the docking fees first, so I can actually calculate it. So this is what we're paying right now is, like, the life support and fuel subtotal, just general fees. So, in order to refuel our reactor... $26. Yep. I can live with that. Oh yeah, I still have 2 uninstalled batteries in the back to sell. True. I'll just do this crudely. Oh, one's pristine. Look at that. Why does it look like I just broke the ship? What the heck? Alright, there we go. Heading over to Commercial District. So actually, we wanted transponder sales. Bye. And then we'll do the reassessment. I want it transponded first. I will also buy a ton of lights to add lights to the ship because I know it's dark as hell, and I will happily pay for the high price of nice lights. So... where does this go? I could put it here. Yeah, that's good enough. In the airlock, it's not actually going to block me. Cool. It's on. We're good. So now I don't have a XPDR fault. I've got a working transponder and working antenna. Yeah, we haven't renamed our ship. It's still... If you ever... I mentioned this last stream, but if you ever want to rename your ship, you can go to the nav link on your PDA. Oh, well, I have to be within range. But yeah, you go there and you can rename it there. Alright, let's see about the ship assessment. we're doing. Ship rating. Now, I know my thrust is going to be pretty bad because I only have 6 thrusters for a really big ship. So the game wants you to have more thrusters. Like, personally, 6 is fine. Because I'm not going to be doing any, like, high-G maneuvers on thruster alone. That's where your torque drive comes in handy. But, we have a reactor room, closed bridge, bathroom. Oh, you know, my Lux cabin... Am I missing something? Hold on, let me see. Lux cabin... Oh, I don't have a light in there. That's why it's complaining. And an engineering room and a towing room. Pretty sexy. Let's get lights. The game just yelled at me for not having lights. Let's get lights. Fusion damage in the debug menu. The fusion damage is just general wear and tear. It's totally, you can ignore it because you're. In my case, it was probably my like low velocity bumpings, but you know it's not unusual to have little bits of damage, and it's in the debug menu. It's probably like fractions. Yeah, it's like 2 and 1. Okay, whatever. 20 lights for 24,000. Anything else we want to buy from here? No, I mean, a gaming console cabinet would be great, but there's really nowhere to put it. I know I'm going to need to stock up on water eventually, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. A contaminant atmos scrubber is probably useful when we're in combat and we can have contaminants, but I'm not going to worry about the contaminant scrubber right now. And then they do have nice bulkhead bins. Maybe I buy... Oh, they only have 1 of the big kind. I'll scavenge for those. They have 5 of the loose. I'll buy 5 of the loose. Or 4. No, I'll buy 4 and 1. Done. Sent to barter zone. Because, you know, I don't really care about price. I don't know why there's gas alarms going off. It's false alarm. Things are fine. You know, I don't actually have a lot of spots for this stuff. I mean, I do. Come on, move it. Yeah, what's your deal? There we go. No, that's... Whatever. Whatever. Yeah, I'm feeling drowsy, pulling on another. I know. We're almost done. We're almost done. You're almost able to take a nap. So this is just spots to install stuff for like spare parts, etc. We have some deck storage. And then this bin, I think I was gonna try to put it in here, but I don't know where it would go. Maybe over-enthusiastic about how many bins to buy. I mean, I could always put it in my reactor room. It's not a bad idea to have. Oh, next to the nav? Oh, autosave. Yeah, oh yeah, right there. That's a no-brainer. Thank you, chat. You're smarter than I am. All right, let's start to line our pockets full of these RGB lights. And we'll brighten up the deck. Oh, also, transponder, old one gets thrown out. That's not, you didn't do that. There you go. So I'm going to intentionally turn off the lights. So here's what I want to do. In the airlocks, I'm going to install these lights and set them up to like purple. And the reason for being purple is it's like a visual warning of like you're going through a lack of air zone. And then in the center of my ship, I want it to be like a nice warm yellow of like, you can breathe here, it's cool. And then on the outside of the ship, have it be red of like, warning, there is no oxygen here. Apparently I need a cable there. But whatever, I'll buy one later. So a light scheme depending on the safety of the zones that I'm in, essentially. So these are going to be set... Oh, come on. Seriously? You can't reach that far? Dummy. Orange. What is your deal? Then I need to get the I need to get the CO2 scrubber like actually working. Fine, leave that one out. Maybe I'll put a light. You know what? I'm going to put it back behind the nav console and then reinstall the nav console. I don't mind it being nested in the case of like a single light isn't going to kill me. You'll be able to sleep soon, Hunter, I promise. Okay. Then in here, we do another purple one. As a warning, you're going somewhere that doesn't have oxygen. And let's pick up some additional lights. So then in this area, these will be set to red. Danger vacuum. So the purple is like a... I mean, I could do green, yellow, red, but like staring at green lights all... Oh, wrong color. Staring at green lights all the time would be horrible. I didn't want to have to deal with that. Actually, let's put that on the other wall. Okay. And now the reactor room. I do want... Alright, let's set this up to orange color and then reinstall it. I do want a better light in the bathroom. So that's orange setting. Good. Let's put that here. I don't really have any external lights, which I might want at some point, but that's far less mission critical, in my opinion, than internals. Yeah, external will be outside. All right. That's what our ship looks like. So you can see the safe spot is very clearly color-coded. The airlocks are color-coded, and then the rest of the ship that is vacuum is color-coded. So there's a nice visual reminder about the sections of the ship and where it is safe and where it isn't. All right, before I leave here, let's hook up the CO2 scrubber, because we do have 0.11 kPa of CO2. Hook up CO2 scrubber. And then I'm going to go take a nap, because my character's been awake for too long. Cheers. So these are the suit filters. You want a scrubber cartridge. Done. And a canister. Accept. So the cartridge is small. I can have it in my hand, and I'm going to drag the can to where it goes. So the can installs here, like where you can kind of see the plumbing. Right there. And then I think I already hooked I already hooked that up. And then inventory. Scrubber cartridge goes in. CO2 alarm is on. And scrubber is on auto. And, well, there goes all the CO2 in the room. So this room is down to 0.5, and it's just going to keep plummeting, right, as it's scrubbing. So we have a full CO2 scrubbing setup. And, yeah, you can see this is the outflow and the canister. There's a little diagram here. Filter goes in there. Atmospheric intake from here. So it's pulling CO2 from this corner. But because all of the doors are open on the internal sides, it works. There's one last thing I want to do, which is re-rating. I want it to say that I have a luxury compartment. I know it's a ego flex, but I get to have those every now and then. Ship rating. And if all is correct, it should say luxury quarters now that it has a light. Because before it just didn't have a light and I was being penalized for that. Yep, Lux quarters, bridge close, engineering room, towing room, and reactor room. The A6E, so E is a little oof. Maneuverability sucks. I know, I only have 6 reactors for this honker. And it is a Lunamax, which it's still pretty small, right? Because it goes medium, Lunamax, Ceres Max, Titan Max, very large. So I'm still just Lunamax. So it's a pretty small ship, given that it has fusion. The bathroom is an engineering room. Why? Engineering room. Oh, because it has a canister. Requirements for an engineering room is a canister, charger, ship battery, and RCS distributor. It doesn't have all that, though. Whatever. It's whatever. But at the end of the day, if I was to sell the ship, it sells for almost 3 mil. So, here as you can see, its evaluation. Yeah, it has a CO2 canister. It just doesn't have the rest of the stuff, so I was actually surprised. But whatever. It's fine. It's an... I don't... Now you know when I say, oh god, I gotta go to engineering, you know I'm just taking a dump. It's now code. So you're welcome. Well, let's take a well-earned rest. The first time we're gonna be sleeping in our ship, mind you. A well-earned rest out in the boneyard. Yeah, I'm not worried about it being classified as a... I mean, actually, in terms of the value... one sec. It's hard to read. So the engineering room has a 1.4 modifier, and a bathroom has a 1.8. So technically, it would be better as a bathroom. It'd be more valuable, but like, whatever. I'm okay with it being less valuable. It's not worth fixing. Technically, the canister doesn't need to be installed. Yeah, you might be right about that, actually. Just in the compartment? Yeah. I mean, I think that's not incorrect. Oh, the overlay's still up. Sorry. It just looks too stupid to have it just chilling there, so I'm gonna... Yeah. Alright, so, I am going to head out to the boneyard and go to sleep. I already paid the fees. So away we go. No, we don't care about the value. We're not selling this coffin. This X-coffin. There is actually one good reason to use match speed, which is like, right now, if I want to just chill here, in relation to like K-Leg or in relation to anything else, I honestly don't want to be anywhere near K-Leg if I sleep, because all the people docking are gonna freak out the alarms. So what I'll do is I'm gonna go over here and dock with this thing, because the last thing we'll need before we make a trip to Ceres is we need to get helium tanks. I don't have enough fuel to make the trip. You know, my 2 tanks isn't enough. I mean, it is. It would just take a really long time, so I don't want to make it that way. I want to get there in style or something. So we're going to head over to this derelict, link up with it, go to sleep. Yeah, we have an elite shoebox. But it's our shoebox, and that's what matters. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts Fire in the Hold, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you on next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Ostranauts.